want to help you today. I want to help you be better swimmers. I'm going to share with you what I call secrets. But first of all, there isn't any secrets. The things I talk about here are things you've heard before, but it's whether you implement them in your swimming. I'm going to tell you what it takes to be champions. I've been very fortunate to have some of the best swimmers in the world. I've had world record holders, I had a medalist in 4 Olympics, I've traveled the world with swimmers. I've been very fortunate. I learned a lot off the great swimmers. I want to share with you some of these characteristics. And then you have to ask yourself, is this what I bring to my swimming? First thing, you've got to know what your goals are. Now, I ask a lot of swimmers, the first thing, I say, what is your goal? And for most people, they go, I don't know. The reason of your goal is the why. It's why I swim. You've got to know why I swim. What is it I want? My why is to walk into the pool. About 25 years ago, I got to announce the Olympic Games were going to be in Sydney. I was a young coach. And that day I made a decision I wanted to be an Olympic coach. Happened to be on the Olympics. I rang the head coach of Australia. I go to the Olympics coach. He said, coach me for me, coach me. He said, to be an Olympic coach, the average age is 55 to 65. So you don't really fit the criteria. You fit really. Every day I used to pretend and walk in the pool, imagine I'm preparing for Olympic Games. Every day I was doing it. Came to the Olympic trials, I'm sitting up in the stairs, all the races finished. One of my swimmers calls me. He said, I'll come down to the marshalling area. And as I walk into the marshalling area, I get an Australian Olympic team jacket. I'm on the Olympics. So I'm a pretty emotional person. I sat at the back of the room, bawling my eyes out. Because I had this crazy dream where people said, you can't do this. I got to walk in on the opening ceremony, join the coaches in Australia. I'd never been on an Australian Olympic team before. There I was, young coach. And so you've got to have a big goal, a big dream. It's okay to dream big. And if you don't quite make it, at least I've given it my best with that great journey. So you've got to know your why. Why do I swim? Some might be, I just want to have a good time. I love my friends, and that's okay. Not everyone wants to go to the Olympics. Now, if you want to get to that level, you've got to be very intentional. Every day I walk in, imagine I'm walking the opening ceremony. Because for me, this is what I tell my athletes, Olympics is not once every 4 years, but every day. If I was going to be an Olympic team coach, I had to do better than anybody else. That was my goal. Everybody's different. But get clear on your goals, so then it's a why. So when you're waking up in the morning, you go, can I go swimming today? If you're committed to swimming, you make that commitment. You make the commitment to your coaches. You make the commitment to yourself. The next one, are you committed to excellence? I see swimmers walk in with a swimming bag. They've got the gear. Some of them just sit there and have to be told to stretch. But the silly guys getting on with it. Tell them you didn't. But you've got to make a commitment to excellence. When you rock up, you warm up, you get yourself ready to bring your best. It's the way we do things. And then we push off the wall. You've got a choice. You've got a choice, will I do a number of fly kicks or will I do none? Do I take the easy option or the hard option? See, for a lot of people today it's about comfort. You take the soft option. And it's when you challenge yourself to get out of that, push yourself, that's when you become exceptional. I had a guy I was fortunate to coach him, and this guy was a world record holder. He came to train with me, and I remember one day he comes to training. His name's Grant Hackett. Now this is probably 20 years ago, but he was a world record holder, never been beaten in 10 years. One morning he comes to training, dripping sweat, 5 o'clock in the morning. And as a concerned coach, I said, what's wrong? What happened to you? He said, the electricity had gone out in his building. It was 50 stories up, and he lived at the top. He said, I ran down the stairs. He ran down the stairs to come to training because he was not going to miss. So in the Beijing Olympics, when we missed the gold medal by this much, he would have been the first man in history to get 3 gold medals in the successive Olympics. He got out of the water and he said to me, no stone unturned. That was his words. Meaning, he did everything possible. He turned up to training because he wasn't going to miss one session. That's the decisions what great people do, getting out of being comfortable. But you've got to make a commitment by the way you swim. When you do your laps, do I finish the last 5-6 strokes without a breath? If you're not on sprint sets going maximum or race pace, depending on what's requirement, you're not training the sprint fibers. If you're just going 80%, 85%, you're training what we call the slow twitch fibers. Better for endurance athletes. But if you want to be a great sprinter, you've got to go fast and sprint fast, all out. That's what you're going to do. You're going to make decisions around what can I do better. Keep going. All right, this one here. Concentration. This is a skill. I had a swimmer start swimming at the age of 18. Immense. I had him in the school team. Kept saying, come on, join the club. This kid had talent. When he finished school, he said to me, okay, I'll give it a go. 3 years later, he was on the Australian team. He started at 18 and he stayed in the swimming until he was 30. Broke several world records. Was a butterflyer, and then we changed him to backstroke. Australia had no backstrokers, and he dominated backstroke on the world level for many years. His name was Matt Welch. He started swimming, and he had the ability, if I changed something with his technique, from then on, to change. Concentrated on that. Coaches will give you information. They'll give you information about the way you swim. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about being tall. I want you to not take a breath off the turn. You have to concentrate. Don't be just someone that does laps and doesn't think about what to do. The ability to concentrate is an important skill. When you're swimming, take yourself up to another level. Good one. You've all heard it. I heard Tim say it before, responsibility. If I was going to go to the Olympics, if it's to be, it was up to me. I had to take responsibility. Who gets themselves out of bed in the morning? Am I being responsible, or am I waiting mum to get me out of bed? If you're told to stretch, I'm only helping you, I'm only supporting you, please. You need to do that. Great swimmers are very flexible. If you're not working on that every day, you won't make greatness. You just be okay. Best swimmers I've had at that highest level were very flexible. I have two different type of groups. I have reactive people and I have proactive people. I had one swimmer, I won't even mention his name, but you'll know. I'll say to him today, hey Jane, so what's wrong? You need to know what. Well, it's just not feeling good. You're leaky. Proactive person. You can come out and demonstrate this is what we're doing in the exercises. To lead everybody. Proactive. Reactive people do this. They make excuses. Oh, sorry, it's my mum's fault. I didn't get out of bed. I was late, sorry. They lay blame on everybody else. And they go through life like this. They lay blame on everybody else. It's everybody else's. You own your outcomes in life. You own your responsibility of how you do this. It's the ability to respond. People don't enjoy being around because you're negative. Anyone negative in the training environment, tell them off because it affects everybody else. Straight away, someone got in before they even started. I'll make an excuse. Blame. Put everybody in the foot. And some people own it. Proactive. You've got to decide, if I want to be something, I've got to do it. I don't miss training. If you're committed to this and want to be the best at yourself, you turn up. You own it. Coaches, you own it to yourself. It's a choice. All these are choices. These are not secrets. Next one, effort. Here's my beautiful writing. The more you get out of the comfort zone, the more you step out here, the more you make quick progress. The body only adapts to when you push it. When you push the body goes, hey, I'm not used to this. And the body then makes cellular changes. It's so amazing. It makes changes and it adapts to what you do. You say, can you sit comfortable? It's not quite I say, you always do what you've always done, you get the same outcome. If you don't do things differently, if you didn't like what you did last season, you're going to make a decision, am I going to get out here? If I gave you a really hard set, I give you a hard set, you've got to choose halfway through it, will I keep pushing myself? And when I do get out of my comfort zone, that's when I'm going to do something special. Because I've challenged my body. And the great swimmers do this. So that Grant Hackett, if he didn't make a pace, if he didn't make a time, he would be punching the wall, angry at himself. Because he didn't tried his heart out. That's how he was. Get out of your comfort zone. Challenge yourself. On sprint sets, it's 100% within 1 second of your best 50, or it's useless. You're not training for sprint fibers and racing. I want to get that point across. When my guys get up and I want speed, they have exact times they need to be, and if they're not doing those exact times, I go, why are you wasting my time? You're not owning, you're not taking responsibility of how fast they need to go. They're not perfect, but sometimes I've got to be on them. For some of you, this is important. How I manage my time, and the biggest way to change time, people say, but I've got my 3 hours on here, I've got my time on the TV. You've got to look at where you waste time. I think it's important occasionally to have the social things, don't get me wrong. But when I ask swimmers how long you've been on it, and they show me on their phone, well, 4 hours a day, it's nothing. You know, if I put 4 hours a day and applied myself to something in my whole life, I'd be very successful. You've got to set some boundaries around what you're going to do, especially if you're starting year 10, 11 and 12, those later years. You need to manage your time. And it's where we waste time, setting yourself some boundaries. How much time? When am I going to spend on the internet? When am I going to do Facebook, Instagram? You've got to make decisions around that. Because it's addictive, you know. So you've got to set some boundaries. What's an area that you can set a boundary around yourself? Where do you waste time? Is it television? Is it computers? Is it games? Want your brother to answer for you? Sitting on the couch. Comfort. I find a lot of swimmers, when I talk about their weekly plan, you know, I say, what do you do on Sundays? Homework. There's no time for social time. With your weekly cycle, because you're a swimmer, you know, you've got all this training, you've got all this schoolwork, and you've got to have time for your social. So you've got to have a day where it's okay, Sunday's my day where I spend time with my friends. That's when, yeah, it's a good time to sometimes sit down and watch a movie with your friends. That's important. That's really important. So you've got to have a structure, and you've got to look at where you can create some boundaries. And so I set myself a boundary. Once I finish work, I come home and I never work at night. I never work at night. So that was my boundary, so I had my time spent with my family. I think it's important, swimming or any sport can get us encapsulated in trying to do so much. But we've got to make sure we find some good things. All right, let's go to this last one. Self-belief. This is one of the key things. I remember during the 2000 Olympics, I was asked to lead a men's night. We used to separate into men and women's teams back then. And I had some of Australia's, we had some great swimmers back then in Australia. Kieran Perkins, Ian Thorpe, all these great swimmers. And I asked those swimmers that had been to a previous Olympics to share their experience. And there were 7 of the swimmers, and they shared different things. And one of the swimmers, he shared how going into the final of the 1500 metres, he was ranked 8th, scraped into the final by 100%. He said about 2 or 3 hours before I went in my race, he said I started doubting. And then later, my time was 25 minutes, but I was past. All those negative, then he said this, negative. He said, I'm not going to think this way. And he turned his thinking around. He said, I'm the fastest in the world. I'm the world record holder. I've done the best training I've ever done in my life. He turned his thinking around. And that's what we need to do. We can all be negative on ourselves. I don't like this about myself. I don't like the way I walk. I don't like the way I walk. And we become very judgmental. If there's someone that is quite hard on themselves, learn to say stop and plant the positive things in. Now, if that swimmer didn't get up and say, I'm going to win this, I'm going to change this, and in the race in the 1500 metres, he went faster than the word go. And he won by 25 minutes. He gets out as elation. Unbelievable, because he changed his mind. See, we don't realise that our thoughts create a chemistry. Learn this one thing from me and it will change your life. And your body reacts to it. Please understand that. So our language, our words to ourselves has a meaning. I have a boy who was in my team for many years. He had no arms and no legs. And every day he'd come in the pool and he'd be reeling on a skate board. And I saw this kid every day, pushing. I remember I asked him to present for good swimmers. Someone said, feel your hip disappear. Because you have no arms. He said, no, I'm thankful. Because he was found in a shoebox. Him and his brother were abandoned because they were deformed. Someone picked him up, and brought him back to Australia. This kid is still representing Australia. His name's Ahmed. And I watched this young kid, and I asked him, every day when he walked in, I said, how are you, Ahmed? He said, great. He's a guy who's got no arms, no legs, doesn't even know his date of birth. But he chooses to be. And I often say to young people, how are you going? Choice. We choose to be happy in our life, make the most of our life. If you're someone who wants to be negative on yourself and hard on yourself, it's not going to give you the outcome you want. These aren't secrets, you've heard them all. Get clear and involved. Be committed to excellence. Concentrate on swimming. Don't go up and down. Take responsibility. Own it. When you rock up here, you stretch. You get yourself out of bed. You take responsibility. If you want to be best, get out of comfort zone. When you do sets over the next week, and you got a decision, will I go easier or harder? Choose to pick. Time management. Look at where I'm wasting time. Procrastination. Someone said, just stay here. Well, I want to sit on the couch. This is the key. I didn't have a good self-belief. I was hard. When I was a teenager, I was really hard on me. Even to come out and talk in front of a group of people. But I would push myself out of my limits every day. So I got time. So there's no secrets here. What one thing are you going to change? What one thing do I look at and think, I'm going to do something about this? Because if you say, walk away and think, some nice stories, then you didn't learn something. What's one thing, take a moment to think of one thing that I'm going to change in the way, it might be swimming, it might be my life. It might be a simple story to really work on my thinking.